Good morning. Good morning, sunshine. Good morning. When the moon is in the seventh house and Jupiter aligns with Mars. My voice isn't in all the way yet, but I have my coffee. Very little of it, actually. Shit. Good morning, everyone. I'm James Lott Jr. This is JLJ this morning live. I'm screaming at you. It's live. See anybody comes on this morning. Waking up. I just been doing some work, got some emails, secured a big interview tomorrow for my shows. That's what we're doing. I want to talk about something for a second. This show's about positivity and community and service. And one of the things I want to talk about, because I do it all myself. I was in a discussion with a friend of mine who's in the business, who feels that it is not his responsibility to say anything outside of doing his work, his art. And he's a person of color. I'm not going to out the person. That is their business. But it led me to thinking about this, about being in the public eye, being in a service somewhere, in a business of show. You know, people who are athletes say, I'm not a role model, all this kind of stuff. So I'm kind of like, so nowadays in 2022, where the world is at, especially in America, where the world is at, if you're a person of color, if you're a woman, if you're some kind of othered society, I wonder, not as I wonder, that's the wrong word. I feel that it is your responsibility to speak out and to say stuff and to represent. I used to get passes and just go, no, you're right, just do your thing. And I'm like, no, not anymore. Because I think now we're at a point with the whole Me Too movement and Time's Up and Black Lives Matter and Stop Asian Hate and all that stuff. We kind of have to now. No one's right, not kind of, we have to. I don't want them so hesitant to make a statement. Yes, we have to. I have to. You have to. I feel like if I'm part of this whole village mentality, which I always promote, I've been promoting for 7 years, the village looks out for each other. The village comes together. The village uplifts and protects and looks out for each other. So if that is the case, and you're all my village, it's part of my job to look out for you. Now, I don't know you personally, or some of you I do know. Others I don't know you personally, but it's my job to look out for you as I can. For example, I do these shows on race. I've done shows on sexuality. I've done shows on age. I've done shows on weight. And to me, that's part of my job, but also part of my service. I always feel like not everybody should do the same exact thing because everybody's strengths are very different. And I also take in consideration there are people who may not be great speakers, but they're good at this. They may not be great at this, but they're good at planning. They may be good at, or they may be great speakers. Everybody has their thing. Years ago, back in 1993, we're talking 30 years ago, basically, my friend Tara, who I love, this is just his work, me and my best friend moved to San Francisco. And those first couple months, partying, having a good time, working it out. And when she said to me, now, of course, you're having a good time, having fun. And now we were in our early 20s. She's like, so you're going to also get involved in your community. We both kind of stopped and looked at her. Now, I had done stuff in Sacramento when I was there before. I'd done some stuff in LA before I left. But I wasn't really heavily in my community yet. I wasn't heavy. I mean, I did some stuff. But she said that, and I was like, it's always stuck. 30 years later, it's always stuck with me. So Tara Fleming, love you very much if you ever watch this. But she was basically saying, yeah, have fun. You'll put money into your community, like, go to restaurants, go to stores, go to clubs, have a good time. But also carve out time to either volunteer, give a service, whatever that is. And she didn't tell us what to do. Like, you should go do this. It's like, no, find your way. And I was like, you're right. And I ended up doing a lot of activism in San Francisco. I do a lot of volunteering and stuff here in LA, in Inglewood. So I continued that tradition. I did some stuff in Pittsburgh, so I completely did all that, right? But that's the thing. I think now I'm applying it to this field of show business and YouTube and Twitter stuff. And it's like, and I know there's cancel culture. And I'm like Sunny Hostin. I believe in consequence culture. I don't believe in cancel culture. People have the right to say what they want or whatever. But I feel like there are those who really are trying to move the needle into an equality area. And they're working hard to do that, and they get a lot of flack. I love Trevor Noah. I love Amanda Seales. I love people like that who are completely just talking the truth and just putting it out there, sometimes in funny ways, humorous ways, serious ways, but just out there saying, let me present this to you from what I see. What do you think? How do you feel about this? Let's talk about it. Let's make some change happen. And I'm such a proponent of that now. I've been really, well, my career speaks for itself. When I had my show Breaking Into on Black Hollywood Live, I didn't want a ratchet show. I didn't want to do reality TV. I had some folks from that on my shows, but I always went deeper. I remember when I had, you can watch all of them here on this channel too if you want to see them. I had Tommy the Clown, who is a crunker, very famous in South LA, and he's always in the clown outfit. He asked me to come. I said, I want you to come as just Tommy. And he was very shocked. And we sat down and we had a really amazing talk. Same with my friend Scott Trippin. He was like, James, you showed a side of me I've never even showcased before. And he was very happy with the interview. And that's kind of my point. It's like, yeah, we have our personas, we have our performances, we have our things we do, oh my God, stuff. But let's sometimes we just slow it down. Let's have real talk. Because someone could watch and go, oh, I'm not alone. You feel the same way. Oh my God, this is happening to you too. And there's many ways to do it. So my thing is there's ways to do it. And so you just find your way. If it's through comedy, if it's through this, you can still speak out on things within your brand. I think that's just my thing. And for me, I just feel like we're not in a position to just sit back and just go, oh, whatever. Things are happening in a way that are so detrimental to many of us that to sit back and just let it happen and go, well, do anything about it anyway. Or it's just, I don't like, see, for example, I don't do a lot of politics stuff, political stuff on my pages, but I do interview politicians. I don't do a lot of, I find my way. I don't do a lot of race stuff on my pages, but I interview and talk about race. I'll do gay stuff on my pages, but I do have shows that feature LGBTQIA+ community stuff. So I feel like I found my lanes to actually talk about subjects that are very important. I just feel like we don't have the luxury right now. We don't. If you're Black, brown, Asian, LGBTQIA+, disabled, hearing impaired, sight impaired, anything, we have to still fight for our place at the table. We're not all there yet. The table keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and we're not there yet. So I feel like we have to say something. Or maybe I'm just getting more militant as I get older. I'm getting more militantly Black as I get older. And I love everybody, but I'm getting to the point where I'm tired of being tolerated and or dismissed. I demand my place and seat at the table because I've worked very hard. Because people a lot of times will start bringing up, well, as long as you're good, make sure everybody's good at it, we just want to give you a handout. Nobody is trying to get a handout. It's it's the point is a lot of us don't get the opportunity that others get. That's from all sides. So it's there's this one group that always gets opportunity. They always get it. No matter what, they always get it. but then there's the rest of us who don't. That's what I'm asking for, is the opportunity. Let me show you if I'm the right fit, not just already say you're not the right fit because you're Black. You have to fight fit because you're fat. You have the right fit because you're there. Like I want to see. I want the opportunity to be there so I can show you what I have, and then you can go nah or yes. I count with our brothers and sisters being all Pollyanna head in the clouds. Is there anybody being? I don't know. I don't know. Well, here in LA, I don't know anybody Black who's that. I just know that there are folks who are afraid to say stuff. They're afraid to speak out in some form. And my thing is, you don't have to be super militant. You don't have to be loud. There's different ways of doing things. You have to fight. Like, I have friends who plant gardens. They plant gardens. They're beautifying their neighborhoods. They're taking care of their yards. That's a start, because we're told we don't take care of our areas. They're just dilapidated. It's like they're taking care of it. That's a statement. Some people wear their hair natural. Let me do this. This is my hair. It's just not combed. That's why I'm not out. But there are times when I wear my hair out like this. This is a statement. Isn't that crazy? It's a statement. Just right now, it's a little wild right now. I haven't washed it. Yes, but if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. That's right, Shirley Chisholm. I love that. I love that quote. But our tables are disappearing. They're getting small. They're two-person tables. That's what's crazy. That's for everybody. That's for, and again, I don't believe in the Pain Olympics, but it's like everybody, we're all trying to get our piece of the pie. And that's what it goes to. But like I said, people they're building gardens, or they're filming documentaries and talking to people and letting them have a shine. There are folks who are writing songs. There's all kind of things we can do. You can find your own way to speak out that's comfortable for you. That may be somewhat comfortable for you. It's not always perfectly comfortable, obviously. We're talking about certain subjects. But I know folks like, well, I don't have to just believe you snatch. I know, I just make. I had to show it, make a point. I think this is very serious to me. I really do take this seriously, and I did a show the other night. People saw me live, get triggered live on air. The show isn't out right now because of other reasons. I'm fighting with somebody right now who doesn't believe in what I'm doing or whatever. But I got triggered live on air, and I was really upset. I don't very much do that very often. And I was very triggered over a gay statement. And I just think that people are dying, people are killing themselves, people are not getting opportunity. It's just serious, folks, for the LGBTQIA plus community, for the Black community, for the Latino, for the Asian community. If I see one more video of somebody punching out an old Asian woman for no reason, it's ridiculous, and we're not getting certain opportunities. We saw it during COVID. There's a lot of stuff going on that I can't stay silent about anymore. And that's why I'm talking about it. I can joke and be funny and laugh and all that stuff and be shady, but there's sometimes when you have to be serious. Because if we don't fight for ourselves, who's going to do it? That's kind of the thing. And you may be in another group, but they may come for you next. I remember some folks doing, when all the Black stuff was going on, the Latinos were like, well, that's what you guys get. And then suddenly they were saying, deport all the Latinos. Then suddenly it was a different story. And the Asians kind of sat back and were like, whatever. Then all of a sudden, it was all of a sudden, the Asians are getting attacked. I'm saying, you could be next. Oh, you don't care about gay rights in Florida or whatever. People, I don't care about gay rights, whatever. Yeah, now they're attacking women's reproductive rights in Texas. They're burning books in the South. There's stuff going on, folks, that it may not seemingly affect you, but affects all of us. When one person doesn't have rights, no one's free. Right? It's kind of like, it's time for allies of disenfranchised groups to be real allies. And it's time for disenfranchised groups to really speak out and try to make change happen. And so I try to do my part all the time. I try, because it's a scary world out there, folks. And all I want to do is live my life. Really, that's all I want to do. I just want to be able to be in my garden and eat good food and laugh with friends. Maybe one day have a relationship if that ever happens. See my parents, be with my kids and grandkids. That's all I want to do. And a lot of us with the same stuff. We just want to, and have entertainment and have fun and have books and events and music and TV. I mean, that's all we want. But they're making it. There are things that really are happening. That some things I don't even know about. I'm learning about all the time. I'm learning something new every day. I'm like, that's going on where? It's scary, folks. It is really scary. So when folks in my business who say, I have some friends who their name is Queers and Soaps, and we talked about that, their name. And I said it's very ballsy for them to have that name, very brave for them to have that name out there. I think it's very cool to have that name out there. It's almost like, fuck you, look at me. We're queer and we enjoy soap operas. So there you go. My wife, my friends always laugh, so I say I'm black and he black. I mean, it's just for just saying, yes, I am proud of what I look like and what I it's not all of me. It doesn't define everything about me, but see my color, see my sexuality, see my weight, see my height, see all of it. But it's not for you to judge. It's like, don't stop me or hinder me from moving forward because of any of it. The gap in my teeth, I'm never closing it up. It's not going to happen. Sorry, folks who keep saying, hey, how's the gap? Mind the gap, bitches. It's not going nowhere. And it's just, who cares? I shouldn't be discriminated against because I have a gap in my teeth, or because I'm left-handed, or because I'm 6 feet and 300 pounds. All that stuff shouldn't matter. I'm reading this article on Lizzo. And what a wonderful artist, great spirit, and of course gets attacked for her weight all the time. They can't get their minds off of her weight. Let's not get the fact that she plays the flute and can rap and sing and do it all at the same time while dancing on stage. Our folks telling me, don't tell your age, James. You should never tell you, because you look great. You do this, everybody thinks you're in your 30s. And I'm not trying to be in my 30s. I lived my 30s. I did them. They were great. I think I look halfway decent for my 50s. Why is it so bad to be in your 50s? I'll be 53 in a month and a half. I'm not going to hide that. And I tell my age all the time. My friends make jokes about my age, and it's all for fun. Because for me, it should be for fun. Who cares? There are a lot of folks my age. Mariah Carey, Jennifer Aniston, JLJ, they all look great. They're all doing great. They're doing great in their careers. They're doing just fine. Life doesn't stop at 25 or 30. It just doesn't stop there. But we are so heavily into celebrating youth and rewarding youth. Youth is great. I had it. I did it. I was great. I had a good time. I was young and bouncy. I had a great time. But now I'm a little older and I have a lot more knowledge. And I have a lot more talents. And I have a lot more experience. I think that's good too. We can both coexist, a 25-year-old and 53-year-old. Why not? So I speak out on age. I say age all the time. And I tell people, don't say your age. My internet age is this. No, my internet age is 53. It's the same as a regular age. It's the same. It's ridiculous to me. It's really ridiculous to me. It's like, why are we hiding everything? Why is everything hidden? Why are we down talking everything? Why are we downplaying everything? It's like, come on. Everything should be laid out. It should be okay. It should be fine. It shouldn't be a problem or a hindrance to move forward in whatever it is you want to move forward, whether it's a job at McDonald's or a hosting gig at Access Hollywood. It shouldn't matter. If you have something you like to do and you have a goal and you work hard to that goal, you should be able to reach that goal. And I have someone tell you, well, you know, we don't really promote Black folks. Or, you know, you're Latino, your place in the kitchen. Like all these crazy things, or we don't promote women into management positions. There are companies that do that. There are companies that literally do that. You look them up. You can always look at certain companies and say, okay, what is their rate of female supervisors and management? Not making anything up. It's just stuff that's just stuff that's out there, you know. And but I'm a person. I'm a lover of people. I love all people, and I want us all to coexist peacefully and respectfully. Again, I'm looking for not for equal rights, special rights. I'm looking for equal rights. I love different cultures and I love people who are not the same. I don't want all me's are running around everywhere. That'd be a little scary. A bunch of James Lott Jr.'s running around. But I want people who are different than me. I love that's why I do this. I do interviews. I am nosy. I like talking to people about their life stories. What makes them tick? Why? How did they grow up? You know, what traditions do you have in your family that I don't have in mine? And how's that shape you as a person? It's all to be celebrated. That's what it should be. It's all to be celebrated, right? That's what it is. But we're so busy downing it and trying to be quiet about it and don't say this and don't do that. There's a lot of division. There's a lot of soloism. I'm in my lane. I'm just me. It's all about me. And it's just me. I'm looking out for me. Or, you know, I don't have right to say anything about anything else. It's just I'm gonna keep it just to myself, keep it here, and just keep trying to move forward through the business. Because business is not easy. Like, when we talk about the entertainment, it's not easy. Clearly it isn't. I've been at 15 years, 7 doing this stuff. I've fought for every goddamn thing I've gotten. I have. But I don't feel like a soloist, or I'm not trying to be independent for everybody. I like collaboration. I like group. I like expansion. I like working together. I like supporting my friends and what they do. My track record speaks for itself. You go on my social media, I support all my friends' projects. I've shown up to many of their projects if I can make it. Pre-pandemic, especially, I did more of that, of course. But I remember I met this guy. He was my Uber driver. We were talking. This was like 6 years ago, and he was like, "Yeah, I have a show coming up in April." And it was like January, and I was like, "I'll be there." We exchanged information. He's like, "Okay." April, I showed up. He saw me. He was like, "Oh my god!" He was like, "You're here," and I was like, "Yeah." I told you I would show up. I'm here to support, and we became friends, and we're friends to this day. And that is Joshua Silverstein. I love him. Follow him. He's great. But that was the thing. It's like I usually mean what I say. And that's a hard one in this town too. Not everybody means what they say. Not always. Or they mean it in the moment. You know, sudden, you know. And also a lot of things changed in this town. I'm putting together a cast for a show that I did a year ago. And I asked all the returnees who come back, and some come back, some are not coming back, some don't answer. It's funny when emails are interesting. Emails, text messages, DMs, you send them out. It's funny how some people will just ignore you. And I always wonder, if I was Oprah Winfrey, I sent you a text or email, like, would you ignore it? Probably not. But it's me. So, and others like me, and you just don't answer. Occasionally, technology does intervene and you don't get it. That does happen. I've had a few people who were like, I thought I responded, and they didn't. They read it and whatever, they weren't paying attention. I mean, there's a few of that goes on. I give that. I would say 3% that happens. But the rest of the 97%, you saw the email and said, I'm not going to answer back. He'll get the message. I don't want to do it. And that to me sucks. Well, I feel like really turning him down. I don't want to turn him down. I want to, I don't want to, I don't really want to say that. So I just won't answer. Maybe he'll just think it's like, hello. I believe in courtesy and manners. I was raised that way. That's just me, I guess. I had somebody today who turned me down, but she had a reason, and I had a precursor. We had a conversation before that a while back where I had a feeling she was going to say no. But see, I'm a loyal person, so if you originated the role, I will offer it to you first. And as they say, first right of refusal. You're to you first. You want it, it's yours. If you don't want it, I'll move on. And that's kind of how I do things. My phone just goes all the time. All the time, just goes. All the time. You didn't email me. I did, Trey. What happened? You didn't answer. No. But to me, common courtesy and respect are all right. Bye. It'll be up. It'll be up for everybody to listen to, watch. It's just, guys, I don't know. It's getting harder and harder, and there are times. Okay, bye. There are times when I feel like I just want to leave. That's it. I'm done. I'm done. Look, everybody, have a good day. See you guys later. That's how I feel sometimes. But other times I go, no, James, you love doing this. It's your passion. You love doing it overall. It's just that you're just having a day. You're just having a day. There's some days where it's just completely putting out fires all day long. That bugs. But then there are other days when you do something and it's glorious and it's beautiful and it makes a difference. You have great feedback. That's what I'm always striving for. Someone to go, James, that show made me think. That guest was wonderful. That talent you had on your show changed my life. Like, I want to hear that kind of stuff. But we're going to have fun, silly shows. I'm going to have my geeky shows that I do, like Star Wars and all that stuff. I'm also going to have serious stuff at the same time. I'm going to continue the race talks and the sexuality talks and the gender talks. And I feel like it is my responsibility. I have this little piece of a platform, a piece of fans out there. That's part of my job. I want to help affect positive change in the world. And for me doing that, one of the ways, I also do volunteer off camera, but one of the ways I can do that is by these shows. By sprinkling in between the left-handed shows and the soap shows, something serious. And you guys are watching and listening. I mean, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the numbers. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I guess I'll get off now. I just wanted to I always like to share with you guys things I'm feeling and what I'm hearing. And my message to anybody who's out there doing content, I think you should try to find a way to serve your community. And so going back to my friend Tara, are you going to do something for your community?